Hello, everybody, and welcome to our regular Tuesday evening slot. We are continuing our little series that we've been doing recently on cellular energy and how we can actually keep ourselves powered. And we need to keep ourselves powered because if our cells aren't powered, we aren't powered. And your get up and go feels like it got up and went. And a lot of people are suffering from this these days. And I think it can actually be quite scary. And I remember when I had COVID and I had no energy, it was not a fun feeling where I was tired of lying in bed, but I didn't have the energy to get up and move around. And I had to force myself to get up, to go to the bathroom, to get up, to drag myself down the passage to the lounge, drag myself out onto the front veranda and sit in the sunlight. And there are people that I wouldn't call it live like that, but survive like that pretty much on a daily basis. It's a condition known as chronic fatigue syndrome. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody because that little episode that I felt for a few days was not fun. And this is what happens in a lot of people whose diet and nutrition is not optimal. They suffer from this thing called chronic fatigue syndrome, where they just do not have energy to do anything. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to continue. We've already covered the cell, how it works, what it does, what it looks like, etc. So please feel free to go back to the previous recordings and just check them out again if you need to, just to refresh your memory. Unfortunately, I can just go back to my PowerPoint and check them out anyway, but yeah, the recordings are all there for that very reason. So we've covered the cell, we've covered the things that our cells need, like the lipids and sterols and waters and fats and vitamins and minerals, etc. And we've covered some of the foods where we get this. And we've started to cover what Neolife offers in a supplement range for those who are not getting what they need from their diet. And I will repeat it again, that a supplement must never replace a good diet, but it's there to be used in conjunction to your diet. And if you're not getting what you need from your diet, your body still needs the nutrition and it still needs those ingredients. So therefore you need to supplement, but you need to supplement correctly. Just sharing my screen over here and hiding all the things I don't need. Okay, so just to recap, we're doing the cells, cellular energy, what and how do they work? And from our supplements that we've covered already, we've gone through the TreaNN, which is the basis to our whole range. And it is I would say almost the key to what makes this range of products unique and effective, because the whole grain oils, not the whole grains, but the whole grain oils, which is what our cells need, are packaged very carefully in a well-formulated, scientifically formulated product. And those who take the TreaNN on a regular basis will understand exactly what I mean when I talk about having the boost of extra energy. And I am lost without my TreaNN. In fact, TreaNN is what will get me through to Bloemfontein this weekend and probably get me through Bloemfontein this weekend because it helps so tremendously. Now, the next product that we're going to cover is one of my new favorites called CoQ10. CoQ10 or coenzyme Q10, which its other fancy name is ubiquinone. I'm glad we've brought it down to CoQ10 because it's a lot easier to say, is a fat-soluble, vitamin-like compound which is found in virtually every cell of every living thing. So CoQ10 is a supplement, but it is not a vitamin. It just works like one. And we all have it, but we also don't all have it after a certain age and under certain conditions. And that is part of where your energy levels start taking a bit of a dive. CoQ10 is present in all human cells, reaching its highest concentrations in and around the energy-producing mitochondria. So if we skip back, and I can't really skip back on the presentation right now, unfortunately, inside your cell is sort of the heart or the engine of your cell, and that is the mitochondria. And that is where your energy is produced. That is, for want of any better terminology, where the spark starts, is in the mitochondria. And when your CoQ10 levels start to wear down or wear out, you lose that spark. I don't know if you've ever tried to light a cigarette lighter that doesn't have any gas left in it. It sparks, but it doesn't stay lit. And this is what happens when the CoQ10 is no longer present in the cell. There will be a spark, but there's no continual energy over there, so it doesn't stay lit, for want of any better terminology. And it is needed for every basic cellular function, including the energy production, and in fact, even life itself. So that is how important CoQ10 is. And what happens is, with time, that wears down. Not to say that if you don't have any CoQ10 in your body, you will die. That might be, but I haven't seen any research to show that. You might feel like you want to die, but there will still be the CoQ10 there, just a significantly reduced amount. And because of its unique fat-soluble structure, CoQ10 can readily exist within cell membranes and facilitate both its protective, antioxidant, and energetic functions. So it's quite a fascinating little compound, this, because no other molecule can do what CoQ10 does. CoQ10 levels are known to decrease naturally with aging, either by reduced production efficiency, fancy term is biosynthesis, within the body, or by an increased metabolic requirements, or both. Our natural production of CoQ10 slows as we age, often by more than 50% by the age of 50, which is why old people tend to run out of energy. I know some old people that don't run out of energy, and obviously their CoQ10 levels are quite high. I see some of these old people at Parkrun who outrun me. I think we know some of them in our team. People like Jerry, people like Charlie. I think they've got some pretty good levels of CoQ10 in their system. Now, some diet and lifestyle patterns and prescription drug therapies are known to deplete CoQ10 unnaturally. So it sort of speeds up that depletion, pulls the plug, for want of any better term, because certain things, specifically like statins, are well known to deplete CoQ10. So if you know anybody over 50 complaining about no energy, and specifically if they are on a statin drug or a prescription drug of some sort, have a chat to them about some CoQ10. It's definitely worth it. Now, the CoQ10 mitochondrial energy complex, big mouthful, is nutritional fortification for optimal cellular energy and health. It's an exclusive proprietary formula that was developed from years of research by the Near Life Scientific Advisory Board and our global science and technology team. They've always known about CoQ10 and what it does and what and how important it is in our system. The problem was they could not find an adequate natural food-based source to be able to produce it, which is why it took so many years for CoQ10 to be developed by Neolife. You can find tons of CoQ10 on the shelves at any pharmacy or any health shop. Virtually every single one of them is synthetic and is not a complete formula as what this is. And if you look at the ingredients in our CoQ10, you'll see that there's an awful lot more to it than just the CoQ10. It is packed with specially selected nutrients that are known to play key roles in healthy, lifelong mitochondrial energy production. So I feel it should have been named, like a lot of our supplements, CoQ10 plus. Just like we have salmon oil plus and a lot of other things plus. This is a CoQ10 plus a whole lot of other active ingredients. So why do we need it? CoQ10 levels are known to decrease naturally with aging, as I've said already. And this often is seen by people. People seem to think 50 years old. I beg to differ. And I'm pretty sure most people on this call tonight will beg to differ. 50 is no longer old. Although in my practice, I can say that I have seen very young 95-year-olds and very old 35-year-olds. And a lot of people seem to think that by the time they hit 40, they're getting old. And they mustn't say that in my presence because they will get told exactly what I think about that. Now, diet and lifestyle patterns are known to complete CoQ10 unnaturally. Your SAD diet, your standard American diet, athletes who overdo it will also deplete their CoQ10. So the use of some prescription drugs, as I've said already, specifically the cholesterol-lowering statins and other over-the-counter medications can deplete CoQ10 in the body. And if you want to know about that, if you're taking a medication, read the little piece of paper, that infamous fine print. And in there, it should actually tell you about the fact that it will reduce your CoQ10 levels. And low CoQ10 levels have been directly associated with a higher risk of many well-known diseases of lifestyle and aging. Low levels have been associated with the negative impact of 3 of the primary biologic markers of metabolic syndrome, which are namely obesity, oxidative stress, and inflammation. And I think we know, because we've covered it quite a bit over the past, exactly what these things lead to. So why this specific one? As I said, if you go to any pharmacy or any health shop and you ask for CoQ10, they'll probably be able to offer you about 3 or 4 different types, significantly cheaper than ours. So why is that? Ours delivers 100 milligrams of highly bioavailable CoQ10, which is sourced from nature in a clinically proven dose for cellular energy production. Once again, based in nature, backed by science. And you can have 1,000 milligrams of an ingredient, but if it's not bioavailable, meaning that your body cannot absorb it, it's pretty useless, because what goes in the top is just going to go straight out the top, out the bottom, and it's not going to get used. So why are you wasting money taking a supplement that is not bioavailable? It contains an exclusive Neolife phytolipid and sterol blend. It is sourced from whole grain lipids and sterols, known to help support optimal mitochondrial structure and function. In other words, it's got treonine in it. Provides the 4 tocotrienols derived from rice known to help protect the mitochondrial lipid membranes from oxidative attacks. And remember, your tocotrienols are your vitamin E's, because you get your tocopherols and your tocotrienols. Well, this is the one that's got the tocotrienols. No, I don't think there's very many others, including vitamin E's, that have this in the marketplace these days. It also has the four most powerful phytosterols, namely beta-sitosterol, campesterol, stigmasterol, and brassicasterol, which are derived from soya and that may assist with the mitochondrial function. So we never make specific claims, but they can say that it may assist, because we know from experience that a lot of the times you will feel the difference. The Neolife proprietary polyphenol blend delivers whole food source polyphenols. Now, Neolife is one of the leaders, if not the leader, in polyphenols. And this product contains resveratrol from red grapes to provide extra antioxidant protection and to help promote mitochondrial protection as well. So remember, if things start to go south in the body, they oxidize. What is oxidization? It is essentially what rust is to metal, oxidation is to the human body. So with L-cysteine, the rate-limiting amino acid needed for cellular biosynthesis of the mitochondrial protected glutathione, the L-cysteine may help support the mitochondrial function and strengthen inner cellular protective systems. So there's a lot of things happening in this little capsule. If you've taken CoQ10, you'll see it is not a big tablet. It is a tiny little capsule. But that little capsule is like a nuclear bomb. It doesn't require a lot to be extremely potent. The other key ingredients are sunflower lecithin, coconut medium chain triglycerides, or MCT oil, and rice bran oil, which helps to support the CoQ10 absorption. And you will generally notice that the CoQ10 is absorbed very, very quickly into your system because your body can utilize it almost immediately. It is sourced from nature, and the oils are cold pressed to preserve nutritional value, because with most oils, as soon as you add heat, you start to destroy them. It's an easy to swallow soft gel capsule. I'm not too sure how soft it is, because the ones I've been taking are relatively firm, but definitely easy to swallow. It's based in nature, because Neolife products use only GMO-free ingredients. There are no artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, or preservatives added, like with all of our supplements. Now, the next thing, and I hope I don't rush this one either, is my other favorite product, namely Formula 4. And I don't know about you, but I think most of us started our Neolife journey on the Formula 4. I know I did, and then I've added in subsequent to that. And did you know that there's more to nutrition than just vitamins and minerals? As important as these nutrients are to optimal health, others play an equally important role. The original and unique Neolife Formula 4 is more than just a multivitamin and mineral supplement. It is the first multi-factor food supplement to provide vitamins and related food factors, minerals, and enzymes, as well as lipids and sterols. It was first developed in the 1950s. Formula 4 with the threonine grain concentrates has provided people throughout the world with decades of nutritional assurance at the cellular level. So why do we need food supplements? The human body requires a wide variety of nutrients to be its healthy best. And many diets do not provide the density or diversity of nutrients that are needed to assure optimal health. Many modern diets rely on processed staple foods, which have been stripped of nutrients important for cell function, especially the lipids and sterols, which is your fats and your oils. Why? Because you want your basics to stay healthy for longer. You can't make money on stale bread after it's been on the shelf for 24 hours. So you want your 24-hour-old bread to still be fresh, maybe 24 days later. And that is what happens when you take away the oils that can become rancid. So why this particular one? Because it strengthens the chain of life. And the chain of life is your lipids and sterols, your protein, your minerals, your vitamins, your enzymes, and your carbohydrates. If any one of those things is missing, your life starts to fall apart. So it delivers a wide variety of vitamins, plus the important minerals, as well as the tree and grain concentrates. And it strengthens all the nutritional links of the chain of life, except the carbohydrates, because we normally get more than enough of those in our diet. It is scientifically tested and proven to support efficient utilization of nutrients. It has selected enzymes to aid digestion and absorption of supplemented nutrients. And once again, with Neolife, everything is tested and tested and tested and retested and tested a few more times and then tested in humans to be able so that they can back up every claim that they make with the scientific evidence. And it has got a plant-based color, not a synthetic or artificial color. It is a soft gelatin capsule, which to show potency, and more importantly, that they digest easily. And even more important, there's no preservatives. So the Formula 4 and Formula 4 Plus story is more than just good nutrition. In the 1920s, medical researchers began to identify and document the link between nutrition and health. Remember, diet is what you eat. Nutrition is what your bodies absorb and your cells absorb. They soon discovered that several diseases, such as pellagra, beriberi, and some forms of anemia, rickets, etc., were caused by dietary deficiencies of single vitamins and minerals. As the researchers continued their investigations, they found an ever-increasing degree of complexity because the human body is anything but simple. It was becoming clear that vitamins and minerals alone were not the only healthful nutritional links in the chain of life. Other nutrients, such as lipids, sterols, food-related factors such as phytonutrients, enzymes, proteins, and carbohydrates were also needed. In 1958, with great care and attention to the intricacies of human nutrition, scientists at Neolife developed a revolutionary nutritional supplement. The original product was Formula 4, and more recently, Formula 4 Plus was added to the line. When they talk about more recently, we're talking, I think it was in about the 70s or 80s. Both products share the goal of strengthening the major nutritional links in the chain of life, because these two products offer something unique to health-conscious consumers. They contain not just vitamins and minerals, but also the lipids, sterols, an enzyme, and a complex array of other whole food-derived nutrients, which most vitamin and mineral supplements do not do because they are synthetics or isolates. It is insightfully formulated with whole food ingredients, and Formula 4 was a product way ahead of its time. Formula 4 Plus is an iron-free update of this timeless nutritional supplement. And in my opinion, I do believe the Formula 4 with iron is actually more beneficial than the Formula 4 Plus without the iron. Because as we've been seeing recently, iron is something that is missing in a huge number of people, and is extremely important for a lot of things. So Formula 4 is, in my opinion, again, the better option. And if necessary, add in the extra TNN. to boost yourself a bit more. Both versions address the need to provide both nutrient density and nutrient diversity. The original multifactor food supplement represented a giant leap forward in the attempt to achieve optimum nutrition through a well-balanced diet with sound supplementation to make up for occasional dietary gaps. It was a revolutionary product concept in 1958, and today, even after over 5 decades of customer satisfaction, the Formula 4 philosophy continues to provide the industry standard for quality, leading-edged nutritional supplementation. It's balanced and potent, and nutrients exist in natural foods in certain balances and potencies. Balance is an important aspect of all near-life formulations. We strive to create balanced formulations that provide both nutrient density and nutrient diversity. It is based on whole food ingredients, and they deliver balanced ratios of broad spectrum nutrients rather than the mega doses of isolated nutrients found in many other supplements. Remember, you want, like nature, everything in balance. You do not want too much of this, too little of that, or anything else along those lines. So you're wanting balance. And these products are produced under strict laboratory conditions with the same care for quality, purity, and potency that has come to be expected of Neolife. No manufacturer goes to greater lengths to produce safe and effective formulas. And there is just a different picture of the chain of life. And that is where I'm going to end this week's session, because I know we have something sharing about 9 minutes left, and I'd like to just open up for anybody who's got any questions or comments before I cut the recording, and then we'll have an open mic. Anybody have any comments or questions?
I use the Q10 and I find it extremely good. When it first came out, I took it for about 2 months or so, and then I stopped and I gave it a skip. And I also suffer from thyroid problem. And you cannot believe how flat I felt when I wasn't taking it. I've gone back onto it again, and yeah, it makes a big difference.
Good. And this is the thing, you often notice it more when you're not taking it than when you are taking it. Nancy, you were wanting to comment?
Sean, will you recommend then, if somebody say they're tired, rather the CoQ10 than the others that we used to?
If they want a kick, then yes, add the CoQ10 in. I do understand that it is not a cheap supplement, but there is so much in it that it makes it extremely valuable. But if finances are an issue, then just double up the TRINN to get a similar effect. I wouldn't say the exact same effect, because I've also noticed a big difference having taken the CoQ10. And I've actually mixed that with magnesium for an even better boost, but that's another story for another day. And it was a little experiment I did sort of almost at a request from Liz Geertz, and I've had some really, really good results with that. But yes, people who are over 50, lacking energy, specifically those who have taken or are on chronic medication, I would highly recommend adding in the CoQ10 if they can.
Thank you. Just another thing on that product. I can't remember now. Have it got iron in?
No. Formula 4 has got the iron in it, but CoQ10 doesn't.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording.